Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the 10th day of January. Here we go. Today's halacha is this. On Shabbos, you are not allowed to do any one of the 39 melachas. I think you know the 39 different categories of work that you're not allowed to do on Shabbos, like planting something, carrying something outdoors from indoors to outdoors, etc. Anyway, one of the 39 is called tikkun mana, and that's when you put like the finishing touch on something. One example of this could be, according to most poskim, let's say this very particularly, some bottles, like some bottles of wine, have a metal cap on them, and that metal cap was fashioned by the manufacturers such that it just was a loose piece of metal that became squeezed onto the top of the bottle with a ring around it that sealed it at the bottom, and it never was a metal ring, and never was a metal cap until they squeezed it onto the bottle. And then when you untwist it, if you were to do that on Shabbos, then you would be creating the ring. Because it wasn't a cap. I'm sorry, you would be creating the cap because it wasn't a cap before, and you just turned it into a cap, and you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos. Is that called building, or is that called tikkun mana, fixing it into, fashioning it into a cap? That's a whole nother discussion. But I'm just showing you that sometimes when you fix something into their final state, you could be guilty of building them, you could be guilty of giving them their final touch, and things like that are not allowed to be done. Most poskim say that for that reason you're not allowed to open a metal capped bottle where the ring breaks off on Shabbos. By the way, they do not say this about the plastic ones, and that's because plastic ones already were a cap before they were placed on by the manufacturer, and that ring just kind of holds them in place. But they were a cap before, and they are a cap after, and therefore a lot of rabbis say that you're allowed to open those plastic capped bottles on Shabbos. You'll talk to your rabbi about the specifics on this. But I was kind of leading to this next example, which is the one for today. If you have an adjustable stender, a stender is like one of those little pulpit things that people use to, a lectern, some people might call it, where you just put your book on and it slants there so you could read it comfortably. Some of them are made to be adjustable. You might sit down at one on Shabbos and say, ooh, this is too low. And you might want to go to the adjustable knobs and raise it up or lower it just to the height that you need. So it seems like you're fixing it and fashioning it into the need that you want. Well, guess what? You can probably tell where I'm going. Most of the poskim say that this is okay on Shabbos because you didn't fashion this into a stender or lectern. It was before and it was after. It was just made with adjustable heights, and you fixed it to one of the many adjustable heights that it could be adjusted to. So you didn't really fix it on Shabbos, and therefore you're allowed to do that on Shabbos. Okay, so there are many, many other applications of this. There's a lot of controversy about those caps that I just told you about, but you're more educated on it now, and you can ask your rabbi the pertinent questions on tikkun mana, it's called, or maka b'patish, some people call it, putting the final touch on something and giving it the final fix on Shabbos, which generally you're not allowed to do. Just the devil is in the details. When does it apply, and when does it not apply? So always learn this with your rabbi, especially if you can think of certain situations where it may apply to you. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.